So you're thinking about jumping into the Gundam hobby, but you're not sure which kit to pick up first. Now the short answer is grab your high grade and get building. But as a beginner, I've realized that not all high grades are created equal. And honestly, if you were to pick up the wrong high grade on your first try, it could either be the Gundam build that really pushes you deeper into the hobby, or that one build that pushes you further away. So in this video, I want to approach this a little bit differently. I want to give you my personal favorite Gundam that I believe are excellent as a first kit. So the three criteria that I consider for someone just coming into the hobby, I would consider that the model kit needs to be enjoyable, easy to build, and a kit that you will not mind having long term. The first two criteria are pretty straightforward, but the third criteria is super important, and I'm realizing this even as a beginner because I have a few kits already that I'm like, why did I even buy this? But I promise, if you follow these three criteria, at least starting off, you will not have this problem. All right, so let's jump into it. This list would not be complete if we didn't include the entry grade. Out of this group, my favorite two are the RX-78 and the NU Gundam. You're pretty much getting the same thing out of all entry grade kits, but what I like most in these two kits is that even though they're very simple, they don't lack in look. So basically meaning even though they're entry grade and basically suitable for any experience level, they look pretty close to what they would look like as high grades. So they're not lacking in small details or the color separation. These are the best all-around kits for newcomers. All right, so these next two are grouped together because they are very similar in build and look, mainly except for the head part, and that's the RX-78 and a GM Gundam. Where the RX-78 might lack in personality as far as like different colorways, color schemes, the GM fills in right there. So let's say you're moving on from the entry grade RX-78, but maybe you want your next kit to be a little bit different, but not too complex. You still want to kind of like ease your way in there. The GM would be my next recommendation for a newcomer. Now, I don't own a GM personally, but just by watching videos, I can tell it's very similar to RX-78. And another key reason that I like the GM is the fact that similar to the RX-78 that I own, the joints, the elbows, the different moving parts, the parts that you use to pose seem very sturdy and will last long term. And again, going back to the main three criteria, these kits are enjoyable, these kits are easy to build, these are kits that you would not mind having long term. All right, next on the list we have the Zaku II. Now, I've talked about this in my previous video, but I absolutely love Zaku II. I have so many Zaku IIs. I have more Zaku IIs than I have any RX-78 themed type Gundams. They're just, I guess, more available at times. I picked them up at Hobby Lobby, I picked them up on Amazon.com, but I actually enjoy building it. Even though building one Zaku II is not very different from building another Zaku II, I enjoy building it so much. I'll go through the process because it's just such a joy to do. But also, once it's done, it's like nice having like a nice little army. All right, now these next two groups are literally my personal favorites. Like if I was taking a friend who was interested in a hobby to the store, or they're asking which one to order online, I will absolutely have to recommend some form of Mach 2. Now, when I came to the hobby, I knew nothing about Gundam lore. I'm actually still learning. I'm enjoying the process even now. But when I got into the hobby and I was just looking for my starter kit, I noticed the Mach 2, and before that, my only exposure to Gundam was just strictly the RX-78 and any guest appearances that they might have had, like on Ready Player One. But when I actually saw the Mach 2, I'm like, yo, this RX-78 looking thing looks amazing. What is this? And I had to get my hands on it. And when I bought it, I made it, built it. Amazing experience. And like I said, it's amazing to look at. It's sturdy, it's long lasting, it's enjoyable, and you really can't go wrong with this one. And if you like the variety of the Titan, you'll love it just as much. I actually plan on getting a Titan, but I'm constantly hearing good things about the Mach 2, and I can tell you personally, it's a great build. Down from the high grade, and I also plan on getting the master grade as well. And I've heard really good things about it also. So definitely make sure you check out the Mach 2, either the original or the Titan version. I think that they're both great kits to start with. Whether that be your very first one or something that you graduate into just to kind of get your feet more wet. I personally think that you really can't go wrong with this model kit. Very simple, very straightforward, a blast to build, and very appealing to the eye. All right, last on my list, I had to throw this out there because I really don't see anybody talking about these kits, mega sized Gundams. So they're slightly bigger than a perfect grade, but maybe half or a third of the price. The reason why I like these mega sized kits is not just what, like, you get so much in one package for one, but also they're so easy to build. Like, even on one of my kits, I noticed it said for ages 8 plus. Now, some people might look at that and be like, oh, well, I need something more challenging. It's not even that it's not challenging, it's just that it's a kit that literally anybody can build. I would say someone just coming in, someone with, a lot of time in the hobby. But even if it's like a child, literally an 8-year-old child, I think they will enjoy it. It's very straightforward to build. Um, there are times you don't even need the nippers. Like, it's really that great of a kit, very enjoyable. And once you're finished with it, it looks amazing. Sometimes I joke about it with my wife, but I tell her, if I really wasn't who I was, like if I wasn't a collector, I would honestly have just brought the ARC 78 mega size and a Zaku mega size and kind of like propped them up on a shelf and just be like, wow, that was a great hobby. But I love the hobby so much. I'm still here. I'm still building kits. So, I hope you guys tune in for that. But I cannot stress enough how, again, easy these kits are to build, how enjoyable they are, and how much you will love just having them a part of your collection. Perfect Gundam. So yeah, that was my personal take on what the best model kits are for beginners in the Gundam hobby. Those are my personal picks as a beginner. I've had my ups and downs. I've had my trial and error, and through that, I just kind of want to give the beginner's experience perspective to new beginners. Um, Again, if I were just to name two of the groups off the list, I would highly recommend the Mach 2, and I would highly recommend the Mega Size if that's in your budget. If not, all the other ones are just as good. But ultimately, it boils down to your preference. I would just say make sure you do the research. Make sure you check out YouTube for different review videos and build videos. I plan on making some myself, just kind of give a different perspective. Even if you don't shop on Amazon, if you even search certain kits into Amazon, you get an opportunity to see all types of reviews, all types of comments on it. You get to see actual pictures of the build once it's done, because I know for me, sometimes you'll even purchase a kit because the box looks great, how they present it on the box is amazing, but then you actually build it yourself as a newbie, you might throw some line on there. But honestly, it just was not, it was very underwhelming. So to avoid that, I've just been a lot more slower with how I approach model kits. I take my time, just enjoy the process. Really, just enjoy the process from searching for the right Gundam to purchasing and building the Gundam. Just enjoy the ride. So again, I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe. I will be posting more videos in the future. And lastly, let me know in the comments below, for people who have been in the hobby for some time, what are some of your favorite kits that you would recommend for people just coming to the hobby, people interested in coming to the hobby? Let us know in the comments below. But again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys soon.